Soaring U.S. business starts in pandemic show new normal evolving. The illness shuttered large parts of the economy back in 2020 and may have driven hundreds of thousands of businesses into failure. But for entrepreneurs in North Carolina, it triggered a wave of activity. Healthcare chief executive Dana uh, Allison quit one startup to begin another. Restaurateur Eric Sheffer leveraged demand for outdoor dining into a new oyster restaurant with ample patio space. Hotel owner, and I'm going to probably butcher your name, Himanshu Carver Kavir pushed ahead with the new Weston Element Banking in Asheville's appeal as a smaller town with an outdoor culture. Axie Blunden pivoted his cannabis firm to add hand sanitizer under a separate brand. When the illness happened, the world kind of stopped. That does not mean our minds stopped. Lincoln Walters, the family life doctor at a local church, said in explaining why, amidst a global shutdown, he committed $75,000 to convert a former stove shop in nearby Black Mountain to a consignment space for local gear manufacturers, centered around an open air coffee and beer garden. So these are, I mean, I'm going to link this down below in the description, but it's just so awesome to see, stories of people getting creative with what's available to you. And I think that's why we sometimes as business owners, entrepreneurs, we get so caught up in the hustle, hustle, hustle. Everything's got to go, 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 go. That we don't take a step back, and sometimes and take a step back doesn't mean we have to marinate on something for weeks or months or years. And in some cases, look, I do that myself. I take a step back and reevaluate and look. But I think that it's important to be able to take a step back, and maybe it's like as little as like going for a walk, a run, a car drive, heck, the shower, has been many of brilliant ideas have come from showers, and just take that step back and like really see how all the pieces fit. See what take stock in what you have available to you. Take stock in what's going on, and yeah, things might be moving at a faster pace, in an uncertain pace that we just don't know about, especially like as we were at the beginning of the illness. That was the case. It was really tough for people to really know like what was going to be okay, where was that going to be okay to do this or do that. What could we do that enables people to stay safe, and how do we get it so that we're not completely out of business and shuttering everything. And again, just to reiterate what was said, just because just because the business has to come to a halt doesn't necessarily mean that um that your mind will, right, and that your ideas won't. And maybe something that you wrote down, I don't know if you do it, but I do it, journaling, writing notes. I used to use Evernote a lot. I use some other methods now, but writing all these ideas, and it's like, maybe this is a great idea, it's just not the great idea for today. And maybe it's time, it may be wherever you are in your business, where you're at in the life cycle of it, maybe it's time to go and pull up those old ideas and see, how could I tweak this idea and make it work for today? Or maybe it'll just work right out of the box. Maybe I already had the foresight to notice, I just didn't know because I wasn't presented with the opportunity or the resources to be able to implement it the way that I wanted to implement it back then. Is something to think about going forward. So I wanted to make sure I brought this story up.